stabilized, but then from there onward the C-mount adapter as well as the photocement tube was a local company's this thing. The problem is what he was trying to describe is actually the focal point of these cameras does not match with the original microscope, and hence what you need to have is that provide a different kind of rings which are having a little different thickness. You put one of them or two of them to shift the distance of the camera, and that will clarify the picture, or that will make the picture very clear and the recording much better.
I'm not really sure that
These preliminary courses at Shankar Nethralaya and such having an instrument.
Whenever we buy a new microscope or a camera, and when we talk about how do we go about recording, I have seen invariably we are very good at evaluating the microscopes, but when it comes to evaluating the camera, most of us who are not photographic experts get lost. We get lost in the technology, and hence this is a short, crisp presentation to how do we evaluate or what are the various parameters in the camera. Let us see, whenever we want to record a surgery, what steps do we go through? We usually have the surgical field. Usually this is when we are recording videos, it invariably is a surgical patient, but it can be a video of a patient on a slit lamp also. Then we need the input, that is the camera settings, which go to the camera. That means final product will depend not only on the image that is coming through the microscope or the slit lamp, which are modified by the camera settings, and finally this material which is there needs to be output. There has to be an output, which up till now used to be analog, but now we have the digital cameras which directly give a digital output. So as Dr. Yogesh Shah was saying, if the analog output is there, we need a videographer card which will convert the analog into a digital signal so that it can be stored digitally onto a computer, or else directly cameras are now available which give a digital output, and this needs to be stored either temporarily before you edit it and then make it permanently, because nowadays the digital files, especially when we talk about high definition cameras and HD video recordings, the files are quite large. Now, just to give an example, I have no financial interest in any of the products, but this is the camera which I use, and hence I will be talking in terms of this camera which has gained quite a huge popularity in India, because it has various settings which can help us improve the recording at the time of the surgical step itself. Let's talk about exposure. What happens invariably in hospitals where there are various types of surgeries occurring is that the quantum of light which is getting reflected from the surgical field is quite different. So for example, for a cataract surgery where there is a good retroillumination, there is a moderate intensity of light coming to the camera. However, if it is a pterygium surgery, then invariably at that given setting, the sclera will look blanched out or quite white. And at the same setting, if somebody is doing a vitreoretina surgery, the light is so less that barely anything will be seen except where the cone of the endoilluminator is falling into. And hence, the newer cameras, many of them have what is called as a CCD iris. That means it automatically detects the quantum of the incoming light. In retina surgeries used to be halogen and metal halide, then going on to xenon, and now even the LED lights are available. So each of this light has a different color in the color spectrum, in the wavelength spectrum. And when we change this, and if you look at the recordings often look very unnatural. The red color of the conjunctival blood vessels might look very different depending on what is the white balance. So we can have an auto white balance in which we can take the camera, make the camera learn what is white color. At the initial step itself, we can reflect white light or the light from the camera onto a white paper, and this reflected light can be taken as the automatic white color by the camera. Henceforth, the camera will keep on adjusting based on the white color which it has in memory. But what happens in a surgery like retina, wherein let's say in the initial part, whenever we are making the sclerotomies, we are using the microscope light, and later on when we are doing the vitreoretina surgery, we are using the endoilluminator light, and both of these are different in the color spectrum. And that's when a newer feature called as ATW, or auto tracing white balance, helps us. What auto tracing white balance does is, automatically it will detect the color intensity of the light which is incident, and it will automatically adjust the white balance. The other features which are also there are manual, or keeping it fixed at a particular wavelength, that is 3200K or 5600K, which you usually use for retina surgeries when the metal halide light source is incident. So invariably, either we need to know what these different functions are, and just like a professional camera who often would not like a auto zoom in, completely auto camera, but an auto camera might be the best option for a photographer to begin with. Similarly, newer cameras have lot of these auto systems which help us to get a decent video recording. But more and more, once we go into the manual settings, learn what it does to the video, we can then go ahead and modify our videos for the best kind of a output. Thank you.